Oh hi, I'm Virginia. My current hobbies include doing ballet in the kitchen, considering going outside, but then not, and rewatching episodes of my favorite shows. Hey everyone, so basically this video is going to be me planning my life, and hopefully as I plan you guys can get some ideas for how you want to go about planning things. Just because things are going on right now that obviously we can't do anything about, it doesn't mean it's going to last forever. So I think it would be a good opportunity while we have a break to think through some things that we would like to get done in the long term, maybe like in 2021 or 2022 for goals that take a little bit longer. So I already took a shower this morning. I think if you're going to do this, definitely do something that will help you clear your mind. I think that's super important. And then I'm going to go get food, but I'm actually not going to do too much. So I'm going to go get food and then I'm going to get right to planning. I just have two goals, which is kind of funny because it's like I have goals to set goals, but my two goals today are pretty much to set my long-term goals and then also to set my short-term goals. And one of my other goals is to not beat myself up too much about not hitting these deadlines. They're not real deadlines, and the key right now is to pretty much stay flexible, and hopefully that will help me get to where I want to be. So right here in front of me I actually have my book. This is just a simple book with blank pages in it. They're actually thicker than regular pages. I don't have an expensive planner or anything like that. I'm just trying to keep it really simple. This is actually a book that I had from last year, and it's kind of a vision board or vision journal combined with a planner. And I think that having kind of my big overall vision in the front of it, the way that you would make a regular vision journal, and then having my goals and plans listed sort of in bullet points will help me hopefully achieve the vision. Another thing that I found funny when I was looking through my vision book, I never actually got around to gluing it into my goal for 2019 was to master the art of doing nothing. I can probably say I have achieved that goal for this year because I haven't really done anything in the last 4 months. So I think for the year going forward, I'm going to think just a little bit more carefully about some of the things that I put in my vision board. If you guys were wondering why I don't use a planner and all of that, it's because I find that I spend way too much time writing in the planner and trying to keep it updated and making sure I didn't miss anything. So that is something that I really just don't want to do. If it's something that you find helps you, then you can do it. But if you're anything like me, I'm not really good at journaling, and I'm not good at keeping up to date with that. And I would rather work on an email that I need to get sent or something like that than trying to make sure that my planner is updated, because that doesn't actually help me achieve my goals. And what I really like to do is to work on my long-term goals first and then set my short-term goals, because that way I know what direction I'm going in, and then I will set all of my short-term goals to meet the end game. And if I try to do it in reverse, then my short-term goals might take me off track in another direction. Okay, so my main goals pretty much always come back to acting or finding more acting work. I was actually able to get quite a bit of work last year, which I was very, very happy to get, and I was in some short films and things like that. But for right now, I am going to see if I can find something that is a little bit more specific, because when I first started, I was kind of oh, I'm just going to see if I can get into acting and if I can get more acting work. But in terms of moving forward in my career, I would really like to be more specific. So I would really, really like to be on a TV show. That I think is my main goal. So for my long-term goals, the first thing that I'm going to write down, I would like to be able to get onto a TV show. Checking to make sure it wasn't bleeding through. I'm actually really glad that this paper in this book is really thick, but I don't know why. I feel like Sharpie just jumps out to me more. Haven't seen my acting, I did enter a competition, so I actually do have a little bit of my acting like footage up on my channel, but if you guys haven't seen it, I'm going to insert a clip for you guys right now so you can see some of the things that I've worked on. What's wrong?
It's Raul. I think he's seeing another man.
I have to tell you about Raul. There's a lot you don't know about him.
You'd be surprised.
No, you would be surprised. Ah, so you know all about the circus, I suppose.
You said that was in the past.
Have you never wondered where he goes on those business trips?
He said they have an office in Wisconsin.
You know about all those rendezvous at the abandoned wig factory?
What is he doing there?
You know about the doghouse. You know about Stinky Pete. The clam shack on 101. The missing Aztec headrest. The clown flashlights.
I mean, like, real stuff, Jess.
I mean, this is bad.
I once cut the brakes on my stepdad's car. He deserved it. What's the big deal?
He doesn't deserve this.
Yes, he does.
Look at him. So anyway, that relationship didn't work out. Obviously, no ring on this finger. So yeah, after that came Kevin and Michael and Derek. Yeah, they were pretty much exact repeats of my relationship with Trevor. That's when they start calling you an actual serial killer, right around your 4th or 5th victim. I probably should have put that out there in the beginning. Another thing with long-term goals is that I don't actually want to be super ridiculously specific. So I don't want to say, oh, within 1 year I will be on NCIS. Like, that is just, that's not really realistic, especially in terms of acting. And it could be any TV show. And in fact, even if I get like a film, even if I am able to work on a film or something, obviously I'm going to take it. I'm not going to say no to it. I think what would bring me joy at this point is to be able to get like some sort of role on a TV show. So these aren't in any specific order, but in terms of an acting career, it really helps if you have an agent, and I currently do not have one. So my second goal is pretty simple, and that would be to get an agent. I think actually I'll be a little bit more specific here, and I will write down a theatrical agent. There are commercial agents and other things, but I would really like to get a theatrical agent. Okay, so another thing that I actually work on, I don't know if you guys have noticed, is my YouTube channel. So I do actually set goals for my YouTube channel, and you guys have looked in my description. Right now I currently have the goal of 500 subscribers, and I think that setting goals helps me like stay motivated to improve, whereas if I wasn't really looking at sort of like any of the statistics, then I probably wouldn't have improved my videos, or I wouldn't have improved them as quickly. I've actually been on YouTube for about a year. I started a different channel a year ago, and I kept it for about 6 months, and then I took a break, and then I started this channel. So actually I have been on for a year, and I have improved a lot since I started. I started with a cell phone. Actually, another goal that I would like to set is to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is also a number that lets you enter the like YouTube partner program. So that is one of my goals for my channel, and so I'm going to write that one down as well. Also, it may get a little squished, but I'm trying to keep kind of everything to one line. I don't really want a paragraph under each number. I just want to keep everything very simple. That way, at a glance, I can pretty much quickly see what my goals are. And another thing which I actually do is I write scripts. My goal was actually to finish my first feature film, because I haven't actually written a script for a feature film before, and I actually have been working on this for the last few months. I'm still going to put it in here just so it doesn't kind of like fall by the wayside. I'm going to finish my first feature film script on here, and then I think I will also add another feature film script just so I have somewhere to go with it. I want to definitely make sure to finish the one that I have. I think I'm about 60 pages in, So I have like 30 more pages to go. I'm also going to put in one more long-term goal. I'm trying not to put in too many long-term goals because they will start to fight with each other and kind of lead me in a bunch of different directions. So I think 5 is reasonable. Usually, maybe I would say I have 3 main goals. I would say that my 3 main goals are pretty much acting, YouTube, and finding an agent, but my sub goals would probably be finishing the feature film script, and then the 5th one, which I'm going to do, which is to get more modeling work. If you guys didn't know, I did actually get to do a little bit of modeling last year, so I'll show you a video right now. So actually the modeling was really fun, and I'm gonna set kind of a vague goal there, which is just to get more modeling work in general, because that is something I'd really like to do. And it's not something that's as far off track from acting as you might think. A lot of actors do model for brands and things like that, so I'm going to put that down in one of my goals. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did not put personal goals into my list because personal goals are something that's kind of like ongoing. Eat healthier is a goal that I will have like for my whole life, even though I have been eating like way too much candy at this point in time, especially like gummies. And then obviously there are things that I'll be doing that are kind of just things that I do, like hobbies. So there was something that needed to be done around the house, so I cleaned some silver, and now that I have finished that, I think that I'm going to move on to candles. We have like a lot of leftover candle jars, and I would really like to repurpose them. So I actually bought some wicks on Amazon. So I didn't really include any of those types of goals. They're really more short-term goals anyway, and they're just things that I throw in for my personal enjoyment and not like something that I need to set my sights on. Okay, so for my short-term goals, I'm pretty much going to set them up as like weekly habits. I feel like the best way to measure short-term goals is pretty much to set daily habits and set like weekly things. So first, on the page that is right next to my long-term goals, I'm going to write down my short-term goals. So the first thing that I'm going to put on my short-term goal list is actually YouTube, because it is the most like time-consuming. For right now, I am going to put down that it will probably take me like 4 days to do my YouTube things. So it usually takes me 2 half days or maybe like a day and then another like half day to film for YouTube, and then it takes me about 2 days to edit each of those videos, since right now I'm releasing 2 videos a week. So I'm going to put down 4 days for YouTube, and that will be something that I will need to do each week. Okay, so the next thing is the thing that's obviously like really important to me, and that is for the acting. And it's kind of like a weird balance, but what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to set like a day to a day and a half for that. So really what I'm doing, especially right now, since we haven't really seen the like reopening of most of the acting facilities and things like that, is to set like a day and a half to work on that. Really what it boils down to is making sure that my resumes are updated and going through like websites. Submitting to Actors Access is a daily activity, so it's something that I would do even on a day where I have filmed a YouTube video or something like that. And I probably will do it like 5 days a week or so. There aren't really as many roles being posted, so I should be able to be okay with about 5 days of checking Actors Access and submitting through there. Thing that the day and a half is for is really for composing emails. I would say that that is the most important thing, and something that an actor has to do pretty constantly is to either contact agents and things like that, or to work on connecting with people that we already know. I've kind of been procrastinating and I need to compose more letters to agents, and that's something that I'm going to work on. And also I have a few people that I've been meaning to contact just so I can talk to them and learn more about the industry. So I am going to go ahead and set up those letters and those emails so that I can get that done as well. Something also that I try to keep in mind is one-time versus ongoing. So these things like sending emails and submitting on Actors Access are ongoing, but then I might have something like a self-tape that needs to be sent, and that is one time, but it also has a deadline, so it really takes priority. So if there's something that I have to move down, then I will move it down so that I can complete my self-tape or whatever it is that I need to do. And that will help me also meet my short-term goals, even though it's something that I can't do on like a daily basis. Another short-term goal that I'm going to write down is to write about 3 or 4 days between now and July 1st. That way I can complete my feature film. So basically I have a once a month meeting where my friends and I discuss scripts that we have written. So I do have a deadline on that, and I actually have to get it done, I think by like July 4th or 5th, but obviously because that's a holiday, I'd like to finish ahead of that. I am going to go ahead and write down the goal of writing for about 3 or 4 days. I think that's how long it will take me if I have 30 pages. I usually write about 10 pages at a time. So if I take the time to sit down for about 3 to 4 days, I should be able to get out those last 30 pages. And also, in order to get started on the next script that I have for short-term goals, once I have completed this first film, I'm also going to go back and make sure that I'm writing at least once a week, and that should give me 10 pages per week. And hopefully within about a few months I will have another feature film cranked out. So right now I have 4 days for YouTube and about 1.5 to 2 days for my acting things, which adds up to 6 days really. But because YouTube is more likely to take maybe 3.5 days, and because acting is more likely to take maybe 1.5 days, that does actually leave me a little bit of time. So I have another 1.5 days, which are going to be for errands or things that I really need to do. And also I'm going to build in self-care. So this is where I would put my sort of like personal goals. And I would really like to take at least a half a day to a day each week to make sure that I am doing self-care. I probably won't do like an entire routine every week, but if I want to do my nails, then I'm going to set the time to do that each week. That way I have some time to rest. Also, another thing which I have been doing is kind of watching like educational and motivational videos, and I actually want to scale back on that. I feel like I've been watching too many of them, and I'm definitely not going to put those videos on my self-care days, because I've noticed that a lot of my self-care days start turning into work. So I started taking ballet online during kind of the beginning of the quarantine, and I've been doing that pretty much 3 times a week. And I really want to keep that up and keep my strength up so that one day, maybe at some point, I can actually go and start taking classes in the studio again. And also I was learning Japanese because we went to Japan at the end of last year into the beginning of this year. And I kind of fell out of the habit of that, but I would obviously like to resume it and pick it back up so that I can continue learning the language and improving. If you guys are interested in self-care, then my last video was actually on how to grow your hair longer. So if you guys are interested, you should definitely check out that video. And that was a follow-up to another video I have with my entire hair wash routine. So if you guys are interested in those 2 videos, then you should definitely go and check them out. If you guys like this video and found it helpful, then please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you guys have any questions for me or things that you would like to see, please go ahead and leave them down in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.